What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we got another video rolling up with the F-150, the OBS F-150. This thing is so sick, so clean. This thing is so low. Let's check it out. Thing lays so low to the ground. This truck actually has a whole conversion for control arms. It doesn't have the I-beams anymore. But this video today is not about the suspension. We're actually doing something a little bit different on this one. We're doing the billet steering wheel from the very beginning. So when we started working on this truck, I didn't know if there was any kind of adapters that'll just fit straight on. And there wasn't, especially not for like the 9-bolt steering wheel, which is pretty much like all the intro and Boyd Connington, all these 12-bolt steering wheels. I'm sorry. So this is the steering wheel that's going on there. I think this steering wheel matches the rims, but I'm gonna show you guys how I did it, and pretty much what I ended up buying, so you guys can do this yourselves if you guys want to do it. It's not an easy process. It's not a simple, just right off the bat process, because I did have to kind of search, but I'm gonna make it easier for you guys, especially the guys running the OBS Fords. If you guys want to do something like this, cost wise, you're gonna probably spend maybe about $700, if not a little bit more, with the steering wheel, and plus on top of that, the adapters and the 6, 10, 12 bolt conversion that you're gonna have to buy. But I'm gonna show you guys right now. I have it already pretty much set up, but I'm gonna take it all apart just to show you guys exactly how I did it. Well, I guess taking it off is not an option anymore. There's the damn key. Okay. Alright, guys. So I was going to show you how I took it apart and how I put it back together, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to pull off the adapter that I already put on there. So this is the adapter that I already put on there, and this port number is SRK161H, and it is for the F-150 92 to 97. And I believe that these also do fit the F-250s and F-350s, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I did remember that on the website it did say that it did fit, so just take that into consideration if you want to do this for your other heavy-duty vehicles. So let me just kind of give you a rough draft of what I did. So this is the original steering wheel, and so it wasn't as easy to pull off, but if you see this bolt right here, all you have to do is just loosen that up, and then this is pretty much held on by that bolt. It also has grooves that are right here, and these grooves pretty much are like the guides or whatever to the steering column. So once you pull that off, you want to go and get yourself a steering wheel puller which is gonna be a little bolt that pushes into this part. Now I saw a couple of videos saying to use the same screw, and I just kind of like put it over and then just pushed it. But on this particular steering wheel, it didn't have extra holes to bolt at least my remover. Let me see if I still have it here. I did pull off the airbag too, so it was a couple of bolts in the back, or I don't remember if it was clips. To be honest, it's been like 2 or 3 weeks since I did it. This is a steering wheel puller, and you're pretty much just gonna add, put this against, or you can use it without the bolt depending on your vehicle. But normally it has these two guide holes right here, and you'll put extra screws like this, and these are supposed to slide in through the hole and bolt up to the actual steering wheel. But if you look at the steering wheel right here, there is no holes. Check it out. There's no holes on the side or anything around it, and this only has a certain distance, where it can move around. You really can't have, where you like spread it to the side or whatever. So what I ended up doing was that I actually put the bolt through, and I had a nut. So I put the nut. Let me set this down real quick. Okay, so now that I have it kind of set up, so this is the steering wheel, and let's say it's in front of you, and you have it still on. I'm gonna put this screw right here as a reference point. So you're looking at the steering wheel. You already took off the airbags. You still have this bolt right here. You unscrew it and you take it pretty much off, and then you screw it back in. So once you have it back in there, you're pretty much left off with the steering wheel remover, and you can go buy this at your local AutoZone. Don't rent it, just buy it just so you can have it later on, especially if you have a steering wheel. So this comes with a couple of different screws, depending on the size of the bolt that you need to. And normally you would tie this into your steering wheel. You would actually have to screw that on if there was holes here, like with the Chevrolets or whatever. You tie that up, and then you kind of just tighten this up, and it'll start to pull up the steering wheel. Now with this one, since it didn't have that, I kind of had to think out of the box. So these are the screws that were the correct length that I needed. Now these are just some hardware that I had extra, and so pretty much this ties into this, and it doesn't necessarily have to fit like really snug, but just enough to where it'll hold it. So since I didn't have any bolt holes in the steering wheel, I had to pretty much do this. So I threw it in through the backside, which is like this. This is how the top of it, I brought it in like this. Put this bolt onto the screw right here and just set it on there snug. Then I did the same to the other side. And this isn't the one I used. I just had to go and look for another bolt right here. Initially I had the same bolt, the same nut, I'm sorry. So once you get that in there like this, right, you have play. Now since it didn't have the holes, what I did was I pretty much sat it over, right? Let the camera focus up a little bit. Sat it over like this, and then gave it enough slack to where I could slide the screws through the back. So now that I have enough slack, I can actually slide this screw in through the rear, And it's gonna be a little tricky because the plastic is pretty hard, so it won't let you right away. But just kind of just wedge yourself into it. And be careful. Would use gloves because sometimes these screws will just slip. So want to avoid injuries. So now that we got it in, now that you got both of your screws in like this, let me show you a close-up. Oh shit, that was too close. Okay, so you see how that screw is like sunk in there? And let's look at the back. See? That's how it should look. Pretty much I got it in as easy as I could, and then I kind of just cornered the top left and the top and the bottom right, and then just push this screw in until you start to see that it's pushing itself out. Now once you pretty much have that done, you can either do it with a wrench or a ratchet and socket, or you can do it with the impact. Whatever you think is probably going to be safer for you. But once you have these screws hooked up like that, you pretty much want to go as slow as possible. So I would use maybe like a ratchet and the wrench. It doesn't have too much pressure, you know, so it's not just going to pop out and hit your face, but you have to have enough pressure to where it'll kick it out, and without really damaging the grooves or the little splines that it has on the inside. So this is pretty much set up for you to pull it off. Now once you have it pulled off from there, you have to go and get that adapter that I told you the part number of. And once you get that adapter, you're still one step behind. You're still gonna have to get an adapter for the steering wheel, because the Nrg adapter only comes in 6 bolts. When I emailed them or whatever, they were like, we don't sell to the public, we sell through a third party, so you have to pretty much talk to them. And so it was just a hassle. I figured let's just buy it and see if it works out. And so far it did. So the adapter fits perfect. It's got these grounds and power for the horn. It's got, so another thing that I did was that it has a little clock dial in the back. I pretty much just took it all out so that it would be bare. And then once I got that clock dial out, this one comes with a new clock dial, so you don't have to worry about that. Or this is pretty much what I took off, other words. And I don't know if the truck will start, to be honest, but let's hope it does. So you have the adapter, and this is only 6 volts. So what I went and did is I bought a 6 to 12 volt converter, which is pretty much just a small spacer with 6 volts or 5. It has 5 and 6, so you can go from a 5 volt adapter to a 12 volt adapter, or a 6 volt adapter to a 12 volt adapter. And it comes with these little screws already for it too, so you can just add that on there. And we're gonna add it on right now. You just gotta go and look for the right socket to make sure we tying it up correctly. And then once we get that on there, we should be able to put the steering wheel. And we'll see from there on if it turns on or not, or if these airbags are gonna deploy on my ass. But let's hope they don't. We got the right size for this, and this is, well, I don't know if it's the right size, but it's a CRV4. This is the little adapter that we're using, and we're using it with the ratchet. We're not gonna go over tightening it. I don't want it to break on him while he's driving, so just enough torque for the size of the bolt. You also have to make sure that you're putting it on the right size, because remember there is a 5-bolt setup and a 6-bolt setup. So now there's another thing that I want to let you guys know about what we're going to do in the future. We're going to start selling parts on the website, sort of like a separate section, separate collection, and we're going to sell like little accessories that we get here at the shop or whatever that really don't need or whatever. Like I have a brand new Chevy adapter for a Billet steering wheel that fits like the 99 to 2006. Actually it fits like the 88 all the way to 99 and all the way to 2007 classic. I don't know about 08, but normally those are usually the same pattern, so they could fit up to the newer style. So if you guys are interested in getting stuff like that, make sure you guys to head over to the website and see if you guys have anything that you might be interested in on there, and just make sure you cop the merch. Now these other ones, these other screws are a different size, so I gotta go and look for that size, and that's typical with the steering wheel. And it does have a groove. I don't know if you can pick that on the camera, but it should have a small groove where it'll sit flush on the steering wheel, because the steering wheel has the little ribs that'll go down. So this pretty much fits perfect right there, and it's kind of dead center. My biggest thing during this whole encounter with this kind of steering wheel for this kind of truck was that there's nothing right off the bat that'll say this will fit. There is companies out there that will gladly make adapters for these trucks, but there's not a big market for it, so they don't. And it's which is like very normal with like a lot of things. A lot of people won't make parts for trucks that won't sell, but it is worth your while to kind of check out this video and you know, and see how we install these steering wheels. For this particular vehicle we had to do it this way. For other vehicles it might be a different way. It might be easier. You might be able to find some of these adapters online already ready to go to just fit on your vehicle. But for this particular truck there was really nothing on the actual websites or anything like that that said it would fit a steering wheel like right off the bat. And I didn't want to go through like a machine shop trying to find somebody to kind of like rig up the adapter that the steering wheel came with, because it came with a Chevy one, and normally a lot of people, they'll send them out to get them CNC machine and stuff like that and to make them fit. But I didn't want to do all that because I didn't want to mess it up. And so far this is looking good. Good thing I did my research and I found out exactly what needed to go on there. Last step is to kind of just set the steering wheel up. Now you can ground it out by adding the 2 grounds from here to here, and then there's a little plug that you'll plug this into. If your horn still works, then just plug it up. If it doesn't work, then don't worry about it. and just set up your center cap as straight as you can with like the steering wheel. And this is the tricky part, since it's got a seal. That rubber seal is not easy to press in. And line it up as straight as possible. Left to right without a problem, but yeah, it's looking good. So what do you guys think about this steering wheel? You guys like it? You guys wouldn't do it on yours? Let me know in the comments below. You guys think it looks badass or if it looks whack. But as far as this video goes, pretty simple. There was other things that I did in the background that I might have not mentioned. Like the cover here, we have the cover, but we took it off because we were going to replace this. But the part that he got was not for this vehicle, so that didn't work out for him. But as far as the steering wheel, just pull off the airbag bolts, take off the steering wheel itself, add the adapter, and then add the converter from 6 to 12, and that pretty much makes you fit the intro wheel. And there is smaller steering wheels. This is probably the bigger one. Mine is a little bit smaller, so the diameter of the overall steering wheel changes. You can always get this wrapped a different color. There is bolts behind this part where you can just unwrap it and then change the color on this if you wanted to. Also, another thing I would recommend, if you get steering wheels like these with like a satin finish or a brush finish, or this is pretty much like a satin finish, I would recommend for you to, before you even touch it, before you even pull it out the box, send it to go get clear coated, so that you don't have to worry about nasty handprints and having to polish the steering wheel. Especially when you polish this part, you know, if you guys watch my past video where I polish the wheels, the polish will turn black. Well, the black will sit into the satin, and it is a lot harder to clean the satin. So in order to avoid all of that, before you even get any handprints on it, clear coat it and clear coat the cap, so that it's easier for you to just clean, and it's always going to have the nice shine. That's just my recommendation to you guys. I don't know if you guys could hear me like very well because of the damn alarm, and I just forgot about that. But yeah, just clear coat it and it'll keep the shine, and then it'll make it easier. You just wipe it down real quick, easy as that. You know, now with the virus and all that stuff, you just take some Germ-X, wipe it down with the rag, or spray some disinfectant on it and clean it real quick. It's no big deal. But yeah, I'm just gonna set it. I'm gonna end up cutting these things off and buttoning them up so that the airbag doesn't accidentally deploy, and then just recovering this whole section up. You want to cut them all at a different length so that they don't touch each other later on. Alright, that seems pretty good. Let's see if it still turns on. Yep, there you have it. no big deal. You're probably not gonna have the airbag. You're probably gonna have the airbag light anyways pop up because you remove the airbag. But if you're going custom, it really shouldn't make too much of a difference for you. Right, and it looks a hell of a lot better now. This is gonna be the final result of the steering wheel. And it looks pretty badass. If I do say so myself, it looks professional. It doesn't look rigged. It doesn't look Mickey Mouse. Definitely a big up to how the interior is. Definitely complements it. So there you go, guys. That's pretty much how it goes. Process took about a week and a half. Waiting on parts and stuff like that, making my research. So now you guys don't really have to do all of that. And like I said, this is the part number. Let's see if I can get it. Alright, so and it is from Nrg. I bought it off of Amazon, but I just typed in that number. And it pretty much worked out. So far it looks real good. And then the little adapter that goes from 5 to 6, I also got it off of Amazon. I would probably drop the link in the description because I don't have the paper on me right now. But actually I do. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, so this was for the billet part, 6 to 9, 6, is it a 9 bolt? Yeah, this whole time I've been saying 12, I'm sorry guys. Yeah, so 6 to 9, that's the part number. I also typed it in on Amazon and I just got both of them from the same spot. I'll probably still drop the link in the description so you guys can check it out. But yeah, this goes out to all my Ford owners, all my Ford fans. Doing a little bit of work on this one, getting her done and making sure that she looks right, especially for it being this nice. You know, I want it to look good. Let me just lay it out for you guys real quick. So there you have it. Probably already made this video way too long than it's supposed to be. Check out that air freshener. You can cop that on the website. And that's white cherry. Smells real good, real strong. You know, if your car smells like feet, it won't work miracles, but definitely smell good afterwards. So I definitely think that that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit us up on Instagram. You got any questions, drop down, like I said, in the comments below. If you like the way that the steering wheel came out, if you don't like it, drop that shit in the comments. And make sure you guys go and cop the merch. We got the radio giveaway coming up today, so as soon as you start buying, you're entered automatically for that radio. And we're gonna I'll probably drop down in the link. Well, actually I'll probably do a picture at the end of the actual radio that we're gonna give away, and make sure you guys go get entered to do that. We're gonna do 5 times entries for every $10 that you spend for the next 2 days, so make sure you guys go and cop the merch, and we'll see you on the next one.